What's up, plant lovers? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm just going to be sharing with you some really exciting things that are happening in my collection, new growth, stuff like that. So first is this little rubber plant. This is the Ficus elastica Belize ruby, and for the longest time this one just hasn't grown a new leaf. It's just been sitting there doing nothing, but finally we have a new leaf. It has officially started growing, so I'm really happy about that because I was starting to wonder, is it ever going to grow? And yes, it started growing, so it's still got a way to go before it gets bigger, but it's really cool to see that it's made a start at least. And then another thing that started happening is that my Easter cactus is flowering. Look at those gorgeous red flowers. They haven't actually opened up yet, but the flowers have started coming out. So that's been really nice to see those appearing each day. At first it was just one or two, and now we've got lots and lots of lovely flowers. So I shall look forward to seeing these unfurl, and I think he needs a drink, so I shall give him a drink after this. And staying on the subject of flowering, this Kalanchoe, the purple one at the front, is also flowering. And these have been coming out for quite some time, but they're now starting to sort of show that they've got little purple flowers in there. But I just love how delicate that is. It's so pretty. It's growing all the way up, and as I say, it's been lasting for quite some time. It seems like the flowers are fairly small. I'm not sure if they're completely out yet, but they're certainly starting to come out. And the really cool thing is this bit that's growing out, the stem part, is also purple like the rest of it. And yeah, really like this. This little cactus succulent arrangement that I made seems to be doing well. At first I struggled a bit with knowing when to water it because it has no drainage, and I think I underwatered it a bit due to fear of drowning the plant. And the bear paw succulent, that one there, let me know that I wasn't watering enough because the little paws started to shrivel up a bit. So I've got a little bit more brave with my watering, and I've been giving it a little bit more. I've just been trying to pay attention to the signs. A great sign that a succulent needs watering is when the leaves don't become firm anymore and they sort of turn a little bit wrinkly. That's usually a good sign. But so far so good. It's all about getting the right balance of water. I generally don't have that many plants that don't have drainage, so it's all a bit of a learning curve for me. Next up I have these purple passion plant propagations, and I believe it's been around 2 weeks now, but honestly I am so surprised at how quickly these have rooted. As I say, it's only been about 2 weeks, and we have so many roots on there. So just a little bit longer now, let these roots get a bit more established, and I'll be able to plant them up and give them to their new owners. These are the other ones, and you can see through the jar they are also rooting exactly the same as these. So yeah, this plant has turned out to be a super easy plant to propagate for me. Just because it is for me doesn't mean it necessarily is for everyone. We all have different experiences, but yeah, really happy about that. Another little success story I have for you is this is my Raven ZZ plant, and I recently repotted this one and moved it to a higher light spot, because even though these are usually kind of recommended as low light plants, they actually do prefer bright indirect light to grow well, and mine wasn't really growing very well, and I did have it in a low light area. I hadn't had any new growth since I bought it, so I gave it some new potting mix. I moved it to bright indirect light, and wouldn't you know, I've got 2 new growth points. So that's just proof that these so-called low light plants, they really would prefer some more light if you'd like them to grow well for you, and the proof is in the pudding. As I say, this one is growing really well for me now. And so if your ZZ plant is in a low light area and you haven't noticed any new growth, try transferring it to some bright indirect light, and you may well see some more growth, as I have done. But yeah, this is really cool. Also, when I was repotting this one, Two little babies fell off. They both have rhizomes attached, so I popped them into a separate pot and I'm just waiting to see if they do okay, and then I'm going to offer them up as little gifts. Just a quick little mention here for this fishbone cactus. We've got loads of new growth coming in. I'm getting closer and closer to having that cascading plant out of the pot. I know I keep saying every time I show you this one that eventually it's going to start trailing. It will start trailing one day. It's working on it, but we just have to give it some time for it to do its thing. But I'm really pleased with its progress, and it's just really cool to see this one doing well. So yeah, a really pretty new leaf on this Philodendron Prince of Orange. You can see it there, it's just shining brightly. Such a cool, vibrant colour there. And this one has really been growing well for me since spring started. It isn't the fastest grower, I wouldn't say, but it does put out plenty of new leaves in good time. It's fairly consistent and it seems to be growing really well. And yeah, I just thought, I saw that, obviously couldn't miss it because it's kind of like bright orange. Saw it there and I thought, wow, that's really pretty. I've got to show that one off. So yeah, just a quick look at that one. I love it when the new leaves come in and you get that little pop of orange. I think it's just beautiful. And here is just a bit of progress on how my Chinese money plant is doing. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure this is sized up a bit. Obviously not a huge amount, but this leaf in particular, some of the leaves look bigger. It definitely looks like it's thriving, let's put it that way. It's currently putting out another new leaf. And yeah, I was a little bit worried about this one because of how delicate it is. I was concerned that I may not be able to look after it properly, but so far it seems fine. You guys did give me some care tips too, and I've been keeping an eye on it and it seems really happy. So far it doesn't seem to be fussy at all, just seems to be pretty easy care. So yeah, I'm hoping that one day this one will get nice and big and have loads and loads of babies, because I've seen other people with this plant and I've seen that it tends to get lots of little babies as it matures. So I should definitely look forward to that because I can, you know, share the love, and I really love sharing my propagations. And then the other plant I really want to share with you, it's just here. Probably can't fit this in frame. This is my Alocasia Zebrina. And well, this one is growing two new leaves at the moment. One of them has just come out. Look how gorgeous it is. It's so stunning. It's a really beautiful new leaf. And then we've got this other one coming as well, because there are two plants in this pot. So they are both putting out a leaf at the same time. But wow, look at this stunning new one. Isn't it just gorgeous? I love seeing this plant put out new leaves. It's getting quite big. I noticed today it actually has a root sticking out of the top of the pot. I did bury it back in. I really don't think it's going to need a bigger pot yet. Maybe the root just happened to come to the surface, but I did recently repot this one, I think, so I'd be really surprised if it did need a bigger pot, but I don't think it does. I'm certainly not going to repot it just yet. But yeah, the leaves on this one are just so gorgeous. And I know this plant is generally known for its kind of zebra-like stems, but honestly, I think the leaves are just as stunning as well. I love them. And every time I get a new one, I get so excited. Do you guys do that? Are you excited at every new leaf? Regardless of how many new leaves a plant has or how long I've had a plant, even if I've had so many leaves, like dozens and dozens of them before, I'm still excited at every single time. Is it just me? It's a bit nerdy, isn't it? But I love it. Let me know if you can relate, if you also do the happy leaf dance whenever you see a new one. I'd love to know if you guys are just as crazy about plants as I am. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, look after your plants and look after yourself.